So this time, this masterclass was meant to be in English. Does everybody understand English? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. So I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Alicia Cordon. I work as an executive coach. The last 3 years, executive coach. The first 2, I was working as a life coach. But as my previous experience was always in the companies, I worked as export area manager. I wanted to go back to the companies, so I did it as a coach, executive coach. I have a certification by ICF, the International Coach Federation, and I am also a master practitioner of NLP. I was trained by Richard Bandler, who is his co-creator. Okay, and that's it. We are, Deborah, do we have, are we all, can we start already?
I think so. Everybody is in now. I take care if everybody is entering. You can go on.
Okay, great. So we are going to talk today about motivation. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is about this word, motivation. When we talk about motivation, we say, I lost my motivation. I can't find my motivation. He took the motivation from me. So we talk about it as if it were a thing, something that we can give, lose, get. But the truth is that motivation is a process. It is something that we do in our minds, and as a result, we get motivated. So when you realize this, you can change the way you think to improve your results. You can start thinking, what can I do to get the motivation I need? What did I do to lose the motivation? So now that you see this motivation as a process, you can improve it. You can do things to get the results you want, and you have the power. Because when you just have that motivation taken from you, you get it, you lose it, you have no power at all. However, if you realize that it's you, the one who is thinking in a specific way to get that motivation, you can do it whenever you want, for whatever you want. Okay, so to start, I would like you to close your eyes for a minute. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and think about something you get motivated to do always. You think about doing that and you instantly get motivated. So think about that. And while you think about that, look at the images there are around you. Are they small? Are they big? Are they close to you? Are they far away? Is there sound? Okay, regarding those pictures, make them bigger, double the size, triple the size, make them even bigger. And now, regarding the sounds, do the same. If there's nice sounds, make them sound like an orchestra. And now with those big images and with that sound, put attention on your feeling. Where is that feeling in your body? And spread it all over your body and hold that feeling of motivation for that activity that you're going to do. Hold that feeling, take a deep breath, and open your eyes. That's the mood I want you to be in this masterclass. I want you to be with that motivation to learn all the techniques I'm going to teach you. The first one was to notice that motivation is a process. It's not just a verb, it is a process. And you can do different things to get that motivation. You can think in a different way to get it. Then the second one is regarding NLP. Okay, as I explained here, I was trained by Richard Bandler, and NLP was created by learning from the psychologists that got the best results with their clients, from the people who were the most successful in their lives, who had the best businesses in their lives. And that is the people they studied. Also the people who had overcome difficult situations in a very good way. For instance, people who were in the Vietnam War or who were in the Holocaust. And despite all those difficult situations they lived, they could have a happy life. That's how they, in NLP, they model that, and they teach people to use those strategies to get better results. So regarding NLP, one of the things we learn is that when we live, we use different filters to understand the life we have. Those filters, directing filters, are two. One of them is moving away, and the other one is moving towards. Some people motivate themselves by moving away from the things they do not want to have. For instance, I want to get a better job because I don't want to be near my boss anymore, because I don't want to feel small anymore, because I don't want to have this poor salary anymore. That's a moving away filter. That's a person who motivates himself or herself by moving away. Moving towards person. I want to change a job to get a promotion, to have a better salary, to be with people more intelligent than me and to learn from them, to have a better relationship with my colleagues, whatever you can imagine. Okay, that's a moving towards. I want to change because I want to get something better. And moving away, it's I want to change because I do not like what I have. Very simple example of this is, for instance, an advertisement. You have an advert about insurance company, and they tell you if they want to get all the customers, they want to get the people who motivate themselves by moving away and who motivates themselves by moving towards. So they say to you in an advert, a friend of mine, somebody got into her house and they took away their television, the computer, all the personal things that have had high value for them. Also, they broke everything around. She felt devastated. It was so hard for her moving away. When she told me that, I decided to get an insurance, and I talked to whoever and I got an insurance. Now, when I go on holidays, I feel so safe. I know that all my things are safe, that they are going to take care, that if anything happens, they're moving towards. Okay, that's what they do in the adverts. Also in politics, a politician tells you, if you continue voting this politician, you will get poor education for your kids, bad salaries for everybody. The country is not going to grow. They will not invest in investigation. That's a moving away. However, if you vote us, what you will get is, and they tell you everything, all the good things they're going to offer to you. So the same happened to us. When we motivate, when we want to get the motivation for something, we can do these both things. What is what you want to avoid, and you want to do this to avoid this, and what is what you want to get with that? To explain it better, I'm going to ask you a bit of participation, and I would like some of you or one of you to share what would you like to get the motivation for. If you have something already in mind, I would like you to share with us, because it will be easier to put an example that you gave us. Some of you, Daniela, you, okay, great, tell us. Can you open the microphone?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
In my experience is like my motivation comes from what I like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, and this is my experience. I know that the others have other experiences, but in my experience is that I just felt what I like to do, and so I motivate myself through what I love to do.
Okay,
Uh,
so you're telling us that you're a moving towards person, that you get the
yes,
motivation by the good things you're going to get when you do that. Okay, and do
yeah.
you have something in mind? Is there something that you would like to get the motivation for, that you would like to get motivated to? Do you have something in mind?
Yes, actually, sometimes it's I know that in my work I'm a real motivated person, and I go for the goals, and I can get my everything upside down to get the goals. Anyway, for example, I have NGO. Sometimes I'm not doing it in the same way as in personal love relationships. I know that I'm stronger doing the professional part than the other parts, like contributing with the NGO. I know that I could do best, and also with the love relationship, I know that I could do best.
But
So
what would you like to get the motivation to? What would you like to be motivated to?
um,
To have a better relationship with this person, for instance?
yes, yes, for
Okay,
example,
okay,
and
that's a very good example.
okay.
So to get that, I know that you said that you're moving towards person, but
Mhm.
we all have a combination of those, huh? We all think about both things.
Okay.
I agree with you that you motivate yourself more by this one, but I'm sure you also want this one. So what would be your moving away reasons to get that motivation, to get motivated?
Okay. Yeah, I never thought about it because I'm about in that way because was I'm used to do that way in the business. I I just was thinking in the same way for love relationships, for example, and it
Okay,
makes
but
sense actually. What are you saying?
it's a really good thing what you're saying, because for instance, if you I'm a little bit like you. I usually motivate myself more by moving towards, but if you always talk to people that way, maybe they will not understand how
Yeah.
you get that motivation. Maybe you should talk to them in both ways. If we
Hmm.
continue, for instance, in that example, I just going to invent, if you if we continue having this relationship, our team is going to have less trust on us, because they will think this is the way they should have the relationship between them. However, if we start to communicate ourselves better, to treat ourselves better, to trust ourselves, the example we are going to give to our team is, okay, so if you talk in both ways and the person in front of you is moving away, he's going to be motivated to do it too. If the person you have in front of you is moving towards, it's also going to be motivated to you. So use the same technique they use in the adverts and they use in politics. So I was thinking about this masterclass more, how to get your motivations, how to get you motivated. But with this example, it's a very good way to know how we talk to the others. If you only talk to the others by moving towards, because that what moves you, and they are moving away, they're not going to get it.
Yes.
Okay, so do the same as they do in the adverbs. Use both things, moving away and moving towards. Okay, so thank you very much for your participation, because this is something we have learned just because of your participation. Thank you very much, Daniela. Okay, so what we are preparing is a propulsion system. To do this, we are going to think about the moving away uh, reasons to get this motivation, and to think about the moving towards reasons to get motivated to do that. Besides that, we're going to make a very big mental representation of the thing we're going to get. Imagine that I want something that is not, I need to do that and I don't want to do it. I have to talk to a client that is not satisfied with my services, and he's calling me to complain, and I don't feel like talking to him. but I think that for my business, I have to do it. So how to get the motivation to do that? I can think, well, if I don't talk to him, he will continue calling me. He will continue complaining. Maybe he will start talking to others in a bad way from my services. However, if I talk to him, maybe I will learn something that will improve my service, my way of doing, the service I'm going to offer to my customers. So I'm going to try to talk to him to get this. Moving away, moving towards, and now the representational, the mental representation. I'm going to see myself talking to him, feeling very comfortable, with curiosity, thinking how much I'm going to learn from this person. Maybe he's going to tell me something that is really important and that is going to improve my services. And I'm going to feel really good because I'm taking care of my customers and because I take care of my business. So I'm going to make a mental representation of me feeling really good because I'm doing what is important for my business. You see, if you do this, you are leading yourself to get motivated to do something. And it's very probable that this customer is going to feel so good because of your attention, because you're listening to him, because you're listening with curiosity, that he will feel satisfied. Okay, this is just an example. This to make you think how you can lead your thoughts to get motivated to do something. Then I'm going to put you another example. Imagine that you want to do exercise regularly. How do you use this? First, moving away. I don't want to feel myself tired every day. I don't want to look myself at the mirror and see a body that I don't like. I don't like to start buying new clothes because my mine doesn't fit me or do not fit me. Okay, that's moving away. I want to see myself beautiful. I want to feel strong. I want to go up the stairs quickly and feel and breathe normally and feel good. I want to see myself at the mirror and see a beautiful woman. Okay, so you put the moving towards and then you make a big and powerful representational, mental representation. You imagine yourself, you see yourself looking good, feeling fit, doing sports and sweating and feeling tired, but feeling motivated, feeling like you're doing the good thing, feeling that you are taking care of your body, feeling that you are stronger now, and having those feelings and expand them, the same that we did at the first exercise. Okay, you get the feeling and you expand it all over your body and you feel it stronger and stronger. Take a deep breath and then you open your eyes. That's the mental representation. The more feeling you put inside, the better. The more light you put, the bigger the images are, the better, because they are going to impact in you. It's like when you go to the cinema or if you watch a film on TV. The films are different when you have all that big screen around you and the sound, the Dolby surround sound that impacts in you in a better way. So that's how I'm going to ask you to make this mental representation. Then once you do this, you do future pacing. What is that? When you do these exercises, sometimes you start and you do 1 week, 2 weeks, and then you go down and you stop. What can you do to keep on doing it and to keep having that motivation active? What you can do is to make this mental representation in 1 week, in 1 month, in 3 months. This is just imagine yourself in 1 month and feeling better, noticing that you have already some muscles in your in your legs, or that you have already run to take the bus and you've done it and you can breathe normally, or that you have already had 3 weeks going to doing Zumba or running or whatever you choose regularly 3 times a week. Then you imagine yourself, you make another mental representation in 3 months. And you see yourself fit and you feel strong and you imagine and you see yourself in the past having done exercise regularly, and you imagine yourself or you see yourself with the clothes you wanted to wear, and you feel really good because you've done it, because you have managed to do that thing that you wanted to do from a long time ago. This helps your mind to continue with this motivation in the time. And also what you can do is to see the progress, sorry, because usually we make a goal, we establish a goal and we say, I'm going to get this in 2 months. And you start, and in 2 weeks, you wanted to go running 3 times a week, and you realize that you've done it only 2. And you say, I'm a failure. I haven't done it in the right way. I didn't get it. However, you don't realize that before you didn't go any day, you didn't run at all, and you have started and you have managed to do it twice a week. So you celebrate that and you congratulate yourself for having managed to do it twice a week. So you always put the value in the progress you've done. You have a goal here, but to get here, you have to establish small goals. And that's why we do different mental representation in the future. That is the future pacing. So this propulsion system is moving away filter, what I do not want to have. Then moving towards filter, what I'm going to get when I get that motivations to do the thing I want to do. Mental representation, how I'm going to feel, what I'm going to see, what I'm going to hear, what people is going to tell me, feelings and sounds and images and light and color. The richer it is, the more powerful it will be. And then future pacing. You imagine yourself in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on the goal you establish. Because with this example that I gave you with a client that wanted to complain, maybe you don't need to do it 1 month, 2 months, because in one conversation it's going to be over. But with something you want to establish in the long term, for instance, you want to increase your business in 50%, increase the clients, or increase the invoicing, the incomes. So you can do it in this small period and do this future pacing with mental representations. Okay, it would be very useful if some of you would share something that you would like to get motivation to, or to get motivated to, because as Daniela participated, we learned something new. So could you please share your thoughts? What would you like to be motivated?
I have something.
Okay,
Nurjana. Yes.
Who's talking?
Nurjana.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I cannot see you, but I can hear you. Tell us. Thank you for sharing it.
For me, I can do the motivation, everything that you've suggested. I do the picturing, the task, what it will feel like, etc. But then what I end up doing is going back to bed and pulling the covers over my head. Yes. You know,
okay.
And yeah, the same with the gym. I picture myself looking good. I know what it felt like. But then when the COVID started, I couldn't continue going to gym. I'm afraid of the virus, etc. So I stay indoors and I go to bed and I pull the cover over my head, you know? So
Okay.
how to get past that?
So you would like to get the motivation to start doing exercise again?
Yes, to do exercise, but also I'm an entrepreneur, so I have my own company. But many times when something doesn't go the way I picture it, I become easily demotivated.
Okay.
So how to keep the motivation going?
Okay, thank you very much for sharing this, because you're leading us to something I didn't explain. In the same way that you do something to get a motivation, you also do something to get unmotivated. Okay, so you say that you start doing everything I explained, but
Yeah.
you go to the bed. So
Yeah.
it's that you do something besides what I explained you and what you say that you do. You also do something that makes you go to the bed. Maybe you imagine yourself under the covers, feeling so comfortable, feeling so safe that you get the motivation to do that. Okay, so
Yeah.
what you can do is, I'm going to explain you afterwards the anchoring, but is there a music that you really like that gets you motivated always?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's something you can use. I'm going to explain it afterwards. When I told you about something that you get the motivation to always, what did you think about?
Yeah. Music.
No, when I asked you to close your eyes, were you at the beginning?
Yes, I was. Sorry.
Okay. And I asked you to think about something that you were motivated to do instantly. So, what
I
did you
didn't,
think about?
honestly, I didn't think about anything. I mean, for me, like when it comes to work, it's the money, you know? And
Okay.
then I'm trying to start my own coding. So it's like I get everything that I need to start it. And then to start, I'm like, I get stuck. It's like, I don't know how,
But
you know?
look how you talk. It's the money.
Yeah.
It's the money. It's something so small, so simple, so
Yes.
lack of emotion.
They should be
But
exactly. Exactly.
that's why I told you that when you make the mental representation, you have to add everything you can to put the feelings, to make the picture bigger, to put it light, to put music, wherever it's going to get the results you want. It's going to help you to
Yeah.
get the results you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So money. What else? What money is going to give you? What money is going to provide you?
Money gives me freedom, independence. I can do many things. I can put food on the table. I have a roof over my head. So there's all those things that money can bring me.
When you
Yeah.
start thinking about all those things, that changes completely. Look at your
Yeah.
voice. You say money, and then you say freedom, independence. So it completely changed your
Changes.
mood.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
Okay.
start making the pictures of those things you said now, the feelings that you're going to have when you get that freedom, when you get that independence, when you can eat whatever you said, put food on the table, when you can eat whatever you want, when you can go to
Yes.
nice restaurants, when you can meet your friends. So that's the energy you need to put in this moving towards. And in the
Okay.
other one, because maybe you're a moving away person, in the other one is, if I continue this way, I will be very comfortable under the covers. But how am I going to feel about myself? I will feel about myself this and this and this and this and this. Look at my
Yes.
tone
Your
of voice.
face. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I don't want, and this is why we call it propulsion system, because this is going to, you want to avoid it, so you push it and you go to the other way, to the moving towards.
Yeah.
So, can you do it now? Can you tell us what would be the moving away, moving towards, and what do you imagine in your mental representation?
So the moving away would be, a typical day would be get up in the morning, drop my daughter at school, but then be physically motivated, energetic.
Just 1 second. I
Yeah,
want you
I'm
to tell me
confused.
what is the moving away. What is what you want to avoid? Maybe it's a marmota day. Maybe it's a
To
a typical day.
what I want to move away from is, I want to make the most out of the day. So moving away from wasting time, you know?
Okay,
Yeah. So moving
wasting
away from
time.
that.
What else?
Exactly.
What do you think about yourself when you are under the covers?
Not to think about everything have to do.
So,
Yeah.
I'm
It's like
trying
an
to
escape.
make you think
Yeah.
about the negative things you are keeping, by not moving, by not doing what you think you need to do. Okay, so you are avoiding some things that you don't want to avoid because you want to move towards something. So maybe it could be, I don't want to feel tired every day. I don't want to feel, I don't know, whatever you feel, lazy, or I don't want to feel that I do not have a profession, or I don't want to feel that I, okay?
Yes.
You put the
all
ingredients.
messages
I'm not going to
mentioned.
put
Yeah.
that for you. You put the ingredients there, but with feelings, okay? This I
Yeah.
want. And now you put the ones that you really want. I want to feel free. I want to feel professional. I want to feel what you said,
Energetic,
inspired.
motivated. Yeah.
Okay, so you put all those things here, and then you imagine yourself having achieved what you want, having this activity in your work, making exercises, and looking at yourself being an active person and a smiling person, that you listen to the music and you feel good. So in that image, put that music that you like, put a bright light, the colors that you prefer, and all the ingredients that are going to make you feel really good and that are going to make you want to start doing that.
Okay.
Was that useful?
No, that was perfect. I feel
Okay.
that energy that you were talking about.
That's great.
Thank you.
So just practice it. Practice it
Yeah.
every night before you go to sleep. Imagine yourself doing all those activities, feeling really good, listening to this music. Put your music already now when you finish this this
Yes.
masterclass. Put the music and enjoy it, and start looking on TV. Maybe there's some exercises that you can do at home if you don't want to go out. Maybe there's something you can start already. 15 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, but you start activating yourself.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nurjana. This was very interesting because, again, we learned something. I hadn't explained that when you do not get the motivation you need, you not get motivated, is because you're doing something in your mind that is giving you the results you do not want. So you can put your attention on that. You can think, how am I thinking to get to the bed, or to stay at home instead of going to do sports, or to read a book instead of calling to that customer. So what are you doing in your mind to get those results you're getting? And change it with all the things I'm going to explain you today. You already have the propulsion system with moving away, moving towards, mental representation, and future pacing. Okay, that's the second tip I'm going to give you today. The third one, language is generative. The way you talk to yourself is the way you act, is the way you think, is the way you feel. The way you talk to the others, the same. If you say to someone, how do you feel? Are you still depressed? What happens to the other person? What difference, do you notice any difference about telling to someone, how do you feel today? Are you better? The question is the same. You want to know how the person feels, but the words you use and how you talk to the others it's going to influence directly how he feels about your communication. Exactly the same happens with our internal communication, but how we talk to ourselves. If we say, if I manage to go and do exercises 3 times a week, I will be very proud of myself. Okay, if I manage, it means that you think it's possible that you do it and you don't do it. However, if you say, when I manage to go 3 times a week, blah, blah, it means that you are going to get it. It doesn't matter if it's next week, next month, or next year, but you're sure that you're going to get it. And that's the message, like you're giving it to your mind. If you say, if, it's possible that you do it or you don't. If you say when, it's sure. It's just a matter of time. The same happens, as I told you, when you talk to the others. If you say to a kid, are you okay? A kid falls down and you ask him, are you okay? or you say, does it hurt? Your kid is going to ask himself, where does it hurt? Where? However, if you say, are okay, he's going to think, or she is going to think, oh yes, I'm okay, I'm okay. And probably most of the times he's going to, or she is going to tell you that it's fine. So think about how you talk to yourself. Think about how you talk to the others, because that influences directly in how they're going to feel and how you're going to feel and how your results are going to be. Okay, so language is something very important. And if you're not used to put attention on that, write it down. Sometimes just write the sentences that you say and read them carefully and take care of what you have said and look for the results you have gotten from that. Okay, so this was the third one, the language. Put attention in your language. The fourth one, our internal dialogue. How we talk to ourselves is very related to the other one, but it's that little voice that is always in our minds telling us, you're very good at that. You're really beautiful today. You look wonderful. Is that the communication you have to yourself usually? Yeah? It would be great. That would be really nice that you wake up in the morning and you say, great, I feel really good today. I'm going to have a wonderful day. I'm going to get 3 more clients today. That would be really useful. But the truth is that sometimes or many times a day, we send messages to ourselves that are not so positive. And I'm going to give you 4 tips to change that negative dialogue that we usually have, or that we sometimes have. Okay, imagine that I say to myself, I can't. I do not know that much. I'm going to be rejected. Usually we talk to ourselves in that way, with that tone of voice, with that certainty. We're so sure about what we are saying, and our mind absorbs it and thinks that's true. They completely believe what you are saying to yourself. Henry Ford says, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. So if you are sending messages to yourself all the time telling you, I can't, I'm going to be rejected, they're not going to buy from me, with that certainty, how are you going to talk to your clients? How are you going to talk to your husband, your kids, your friends, everybody, if you are sending you those kind of messages? So now you're going to start to know how to change them. The first thing, it's a very easy one. Change the tone. When I said to you those messages that we usually say to ourselves, in some situations, I used a very certain tone. So change it. Just do it higher or lower or quicker or smaller or in a very sensual way. Or with the voice of the cartoons. Bart Simpson, put the voice of Bart Simpson. Or a voice that when in the college you had someone that you didn't like and came and told you something. You always come late. You always come late. When you imitate that person, you put this kind of voice. And this kind of voice means that you do not give any credit to that person. That their opinion, his opinion, her opinion doesn't count to you at all. Okay, so use this kind of voice for your internal dialogue. I can't. I'm going to be rejected. How does it feel when you say it that way? The impact that it has into your mind, into your feelings is completely different. If I say to yourself, you're going to be rejected, or if I say to yourself, you're going to be rejected, how does it feel? The impact it has is completely different. So just by changing the tone of voice, you're going to change how it feels, and therefore you're going to be able to do much more things. So the first one to modify your internal dialogue, it's change the tone of voice. The second one, also a very easy one, and it can be a very funny one. Put it in third person, dissociate it from you, put it in your finger, put it here, put that voice here, get it out from you put it here, and then talk from your finger. And you say, I can't. Well, it's outside of me. So he can't. Okay. He cannot do it. Okay. But if you add the first one, the tone, and you put it here, so you dissociate it from you, and you put a different tone of voice, the impact it has in you is so low. If you say from here, you're going to be rejected, you're going to be rejected, that has no impact on you. You can start laughing. So the feeling you're going to have is completely different, and you're going to be able to do different things. So, Nujana, use this. Please, all of you, use this. Any of you would like to share it with us? Would like to put some internal negative dialogue here and just practice it? Or just do it without the microphones? Do it at home, but do it, please. I don't need to hear you, but I need to see that you're doing it and how it changed your feeling. Thank you, Catalina. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Dorotina. Okay, so just change. You're smiling now, you see. The feeling changes. It changes the results. So you're going to be able to do much more things now. You only have to detect what is happening inside. But it's very easy. When you're getting a feeling that you don't want to get, when you're feeling awful, just think, what am I thinking? Get that voice here and put a different voice, and then smile and continue your day with a happy face. So that was the second one. The third one, put it in the past. Instead of I'm going to be rejected, I was going to be rejected. When you move it to the past, it's like a problem of the past. So you're not having that problem anymore. You can act in a different way. So instead of I can't, you say I couldn't. When you move it to the past, it directly moves into your timeline to the past, and it makes you feel in a different way. So all these techniques change the way you feel regarding this internal dialogue and allows you to think in a better way and have better results. So that's the third one. And the fourth one is to add a but. I can't, but if I study a little bit more, I will manage. I can't, but maybe I could hire someone who will do it for me. I can't, but, and you put a positive answer, a positive sentence, because what comes before the but, it cancels. The but cancels the information that goes in front. If I say, this is a very expensive product, but it's so useful. But if I say, this is a very useful product, but it's so expensive, in the first one, you think that you're going to get it because it's very expensive, but it's so useful that you just get the information after the but. Okay, so use this, put a but, and then write a positive answer at the end. So you have already 4 ways to change your internal dialogue. The first one, change the tone. Put it higher, lower, faster, slower, with a funny voice, with a cartoon voice, with a voice that you do not give credit to. You lower the certainty, okay? That's what you do when you put it in a different tone. The second one, disassociate from it. Put it in your finger. It's outside of you. And if you add the tone, you see, you already saw the results. You already experienced yourself. Then put it in the past tense. So the problem moves to the past. It's not a current problem. It was a problem in the past, and now I can manage to do it better. And the fourth one, add a but and write a positive sentence that it will allow you to overcome what it was before. Okay, so now you have 4 ways to change your internal dialogue. Use them, please. Are very, very useful. And the 5 tools to get your motivation is the anchoring. We have many natural anchors. If you smell to a perfume that your mother had, it directly leads you to those feelings that you have for your mother. If you listen to a song that you heard when you were a child, or when you were 18, or when you were in love, you get the feelings directly. You listen to that music and you get the feelings. That's the anchoring. It's a feeling that triggers directly another feeling. So if you hear something, you feel something. If you smell something, you feel something. Or you transport yourself to that place where you heard that song, or where you smelled that thing. Okay, those are the natural anchors. We have a lot. We have a lot of them. What we are going to do now is we're going to use them to produce anchors on purpose. So if you want to feel in one way, you can do an anchor and get that feeling. How do we do that? First of all, we get the feeling. How do we get the feeling? You just remember a situation when you had that feeling. For instance, to prepare this masterclass, what did I do? How did I want it to feel? I wanted to feel full of energy, enthusiastic, confident. I wanted to have curiosity to check what you are going to share with us. How, if you are going to have questions, I wanted to feel anxious not anxious in a positive way. I wanted to feel like I'm going to learn from them also, from your questions. So all those were the feelings I wanted to have, to be with you, to be here, full of energy, happy. So what did I do to install those feelings in myself? I just had to remember a situation when I had those feelings. For instance, when I were with when I had another masterclass and I felt really good because it went really well, because many people told me that they had learned a lot, because they told me that they had shared it with other people, and it was a very good learning from them. So I remembered that situation and I relived it. So I imagine myself in that situation, the same as we did in the first exercise. Okay, I imagine myself in that situation. I see the images, I hear the sounds, I get the feelings, I amplify the feelings, and then I anchor it. I do this, but you can do whatever you want. You touch yourself in some place so you can get that feeling again. You can do it by touching, or you can do it with sounds, because as I told you, with the music, it also works perfectly. If you hear music, then you have the feeling that you had when you were 18. Okay, so you relive the situation when you had that feelings, intensify the feeling, and then you anchor it the way you want. You touch your ear, or you make a sound, or wherever, okay? And you anchor it. Then, before I came to this session, I anchor it again. I did it with several things. I did it with that masterclass that I gave. I did it also because I wanted to feel full of energy. I recalled when I was doing exercise along the beach, and I was seeing the sea, and I felt really calm. So I imagined the best situation, I relived the best situations I've had to get those feelings and to bring them here and to feel this energy that I feel now. Okay, so that's something you can use whenever you want. You just have to do this. Relive the situation when you had those feelings. You can relive 1, 2, 3. The more you do it, the more powerful it would be your anchoring. Sometimes the anchoring is like this. You broke up with something, there was a music in the place where you were, you just listen to that once and you always remember it because it was a very bad moment. But sometimes the anchoring is in different periods. You always, when you went to your grandma's house, she made a hot chocolate. So once, twice, 3 times. So whenever you eat a hot chocolate, it comes the feeling of being with your grandmother. So that's the same we're going to do here. You can anchor it once, but you can do it once, twice, 3 times. Even you can do it in a natural way. When you are feeling those good feelings, when you're experiencing it, anchor it. When you are having a very good feeling, use it, anchor it, and whenever you need it again, do the anchoring. That's another way to get motivated. If you need the motivation quickly and you do not have the time to start thinking, moving away, moving towards mental representation, you just do the anchoring. But to use this, you have to do the previous work, and you have to do it on purpose, as I explained you, reliving the situation, or you can do it when you are having a very good time, you just anchor it. That will allow you to do 2 things. One, you're going to have an anchor, a very powerful anchor, and the other one, you're going to realize you're having a very good time. Because sometimes we're having a good time, we just we are there and we are not realizing that we are enjoying that much. So if you do the anchoring, you're going to send in messages to yourself that this is a very good moment. I'm enjoying a lot at this moment. When we were in the bars or having dinner with our friends, now we cannot do it. When we were there, we didn't realize that was a really good moment. So now when you have the opportunity to enjoy, anchor it, and you will do these 2 things. First, you will create a very powerful anchor, and then you will realize you are enjoying and you're having a good time. So this was the 5th tool that I wanted to give you. Now you have 5. The first one, motivation is not a thing, it's a process. It is something you do to get the results you want. It is something you do in your mind to get that motivation, to get motivated. Remember this, please, and you will have the power to change it. Nurjana, you have the power to change how you feel just by using these tools. It's very easy. Use them, please. Use them, all of you.
Thank you.
The next one, the propulsion system. It was moving away, moving towards mental representation and future pacing. Imagine yourself in different periods of time. Then the language is generative. How you talk to yourself impacts directly in how you feel. And how you talk to the others impacts directly in how they feel with you and how they feel about the communication you do with them. Then the internal dialogue. Change your negative dialogue by changing the tone, disassociating, putting your voice in your finger, and changing the tone. You do the 2 at the same time. Put it in the 3rd person, put it in the past, so it moves to the past. And add a but and a positive sentence. So you cancel the problem and you get that positive sentence that will lead you to that motivation you need to get. And the last one, the anchoring. We have natural anchors, but we can create anchors on purpose. And the last thing is the triangle of NLP. If you change the way you think, it will change the way you feel, and it will change what you are able to do. So now you have 5 ways of changing the way you think to change the way you feel and be able to do much more things. So thank you very much for being here. Now I'm going to let you ask if you have some questions, but thank you very much for your time. Thank you for choosing to improve your lives. And I hope these 5 tools will be very useful for you. And do you have any questions? Hi, Gemma.
Hi, there is not a question, but I have to say that these points that you said before, they are really useful to put it in our lives. And I think there are many important with the pandemic situation. So
I completely agree with you.
yeah. And the others ones that you said before, about moving away, moving towards, in my case, I did it before pandemic, and I almost get a job, but now I lose it because the situation. So I lose my motivation at all. But I will try to think. I will try to change my mental process of think.
Great. I liked, because when you said I lost my motivation, you smiled because you already realized that it's not that you lost it, it's that you did something that provoked that. So now you have the power to change it. Regarding the interview, you can check out my LinkedIn. I have a very small video. Well, it's in Spanish. Do you speak Spanish?
Yes.
Okay. It's in Spanish. It's how to prepare to an interview. It is how to be prepared to a masterclass like this, but it's also useful for an interview. So just check it. It's about 7 minutes. It's something very short, but it will give you an idea about how to prepare yourself. Some of the things we have already explained them here, but it's very useful. And yes, you have the power to change how you think. It doesn't depend on the situation. You can have a very good situation and feel really bad, and you can have a very very bad situation and it still feel good. So it depends on you. If you want to have the power to change that, that only depends on you. Of course, I can understand that if you need a job that affects how you feel, that's for sure. But if you change how you feel, probably you will get more opportunities because you will be open to see those opportunities. It's like all your sensors will be active to learn, to see, to get noticed when there's an opportunity. So thank you very much for sharing this. Thank you, Gemma.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Any other questions or any other comments? Okay. Okay, so it was a pleasure to be with you. Please share this information with everybody you think that might need it. This is very useful. This is very easy, and this can be very fun. Imagine yourself talking to you. Please do it on private. But imagine yourself talking to your finger. Well, your finger talking to you and telling you negative things with that voice. It's going to have no impact in you. And if it has an impact, it's going to be that you're going to smile. And when you smile, you start feeling much better, and you start having a better impact in the rest, and you start having a very better impact in yourself too. So thank you very much. Share it. And if you want more information, my website is www.aliciacordon.com.